Archaebacteria. What is Archaebacteria? Archae means ancient. These bacteria are the oldest living beings. They are the most primitive bacteria. They are primitive monerans, right? Well, these bacteria live in the most harsh environments such as extreme salt areas and hot springs and marshy areas, right? And for example, if these archaebacteria live in extreme salt areas, those are called as halophiles. These halophiles require at least 3 molar NaCl or KCl concentration. And some of the examples of this bacteria includes Halococcus and then Halobacterium. And then these bacteria, these halophiles, are obligate anaerobes. Obligate anaerobes in the sense they do not require oxygen. If oxygen is present, they simply die. Those are called halophiles. And another one, the archaebacteria that lives in hot springs. They live in hot acidic environments called thermoacidophiles. These are thermoacidophiles. The examples of these thermoacidophiles are Thermococcus and facultative. These are facultative anaerobes. Facultative anaerobes means these organisms make ATP by aerobic respiration if O2 is present, but they are capable of switching to fermentation if O2 is absent. And these thermoacidophiles produce their energy from hydrogen sulfide, H2S. And the last one, the archaebacteria that lives in marshy areas. The bacteria are called as methanogens. Methanogens produce what is called methane. They produce methane gas. And some of the examples are Methanobacterium, Methanococcus are the example. These are also obligate anaerobes as of halophiles. Obligate anaerobes means they are sensitive to oxygen. They need not use. They don't use oxygen to survive. And another one, these methanogens are present in the guts of whatever ruminant animals such as cows, buffaloes, and they are responsible for the production of methane. Methane is a biogas which is produced from the dung of cow and buffaloes. You know, methane is a greenhouse gas. That means if methane, excess amount of methane is present, it increases the heat of our environment. So a greenhouse effect, that is what is called greenhouse effect or global warming. So methane increases global warming, and these cows and buffaloes are involved in the greenhouse effect, global warming. And another important point is that archaebacteria differ from other bacteria such as eubacteria in having different cell wall structure, and this feature is responsible for their survival in extreme conditions. You know, we have already seen what are extreme conditions: the salty areas, hot springs and marshy areas. These are extreme habitats. So in order to survive, they need a different kind of cell wall structure. Let us see what is that different kind of cell wall. For example, if you see the cell wall of this bacteria, they do have cell wall, but the cell wall do not have any peptidoglycan. We generally see peptidoglycan is present in bacteria, eubacteria, but this peptidoglycan is not present in this archaebacteria. And another important thing, when you observe the lipid molecules that are present in its membrane, for example, you could see here eubacterial lipid molecule and this is Archaebacterial lipid molecule. You could see the lipids in Archaebacteria used to have what is called side chains, but these do not have any side chains here. And another important thing is that in Archaebacteria, this is red color dot is glycerol, and glycerol and fatty acid bind together by ether linkage, whereas in Eubacteria both are linked together by ester linkage. That is another important, that is ether linkage is important thing, and branched hydrocarbon lipid hydrocarbon branched ones are very important, and they form monolayers, they form the lipid monolayers. And another important character of this Archaebacteria is that they do not have nucleus. Instead of that, they used to have, what is that one, nucleoid region. Inside the nucleoid region a circular DNA is present, but the DNA is a less amount of DNA is present, and inside the cell it occupies most of the cell occupies cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm ribosomes would be there, and but no organelles are present, and these are the characteristics of what is that one, Archaebacteria. Okay then. And another one is going to be, so if you look into the matter of their food habits, so for example these halophiles, halobacteria, which lives in salty areas, they are phototrophs. That means they derive their energy from the from what is that one, sunlight. Whereas another one is going to be methanogens. We already seen methanogens are lithotrophs. What are these lithotrophs? And these lithotrophs means they use inorganic substances. Usually that inorganic substance may come from mineral origin. These inorganic substances are used to obtain reducing equivalents for their for use in their biosynthesis of organic molecules. These are called lithotrophs. Examples are going to be methanogens. And last one is organotrophs. What are organotrophs? Example is going to sulfolobus. Organotrophs obtain their reducing equivalent hydrogen electrons from the organic substances. So these are there. So there are three types. One is phototrophs, lithotrophs, and organotrophs. These three types of the three types of what is that one, food habits are present in Archaebacteria. So these different type of food habits and different type of cell structure made this bacteria to live in such a harsh environment. And another